Hello, everybody. It's Brian in Toronto. Have you ever had one of those days where everything that comes out of your mouth seems wrong? That was today. So I'm doing this for the third time, maybe. Hopefully, I'll get it right this time. So this is the liner notes challenge started by Chris at Stylist Meets Vinyl. Now, as we always say, when we do a thread response or a challenge or a contest, you should go and visit this person's channel to see if you like it and to subscribe. So I'm going to encourage you to do that because Chris is a very cool guy. I like his channel a lot. And I am one step ahead of almost all of you because we have met in person. So, which is kind of cool. About a year ago, Rob from Northern Revolutions and Chris from Stylist Meets Vinyl and I met up in Toronto to do a record shopping excursion one afternoon, which was a lot of fun. And the good news is that we're doing it again. Now, depending on when I post this, it'll be 7 to 10 days from now. We're going to meet up again. And I think I can confidently say that we'll be joined by, hopefully at a minimum, one other VC member. I guess there's a possibility it might be more, but I'm pretty confident we'll have one other member with us. So that's pretty cool. So this challenge requires you to read the liner notes, maybe look at the record label if you have to, or do some research to answer these 4 questions. And as I was doing it, I realized I had picked 4 Canadian artists, which wasn't the intention, but it turned out that way. So here we go. Question 1, show a record with a writing credit from every band member. And to be honest, I could have chosen, I think, every record from this band, but I went with this one. This is the Rheostatics. This is Whale Music from 1992. It says 1993 here for some reason, but it came out in 1992. And this is the 2010 only vinyl pressing. It's a double record with, I think, 17 tracks. As a CD as well. There's the 4 members of the band and those interesting photos. So all of those members have written a song, or at least one song for this record, which is kind of cool. Now, the Rheostatics are from Etobicoke, which is, well, I guess in the past you'd say it was a borough on the outside of Toronto, and then it became a city like all the other boroughs, and now it was amalgamated into Big Toronto, as I'll call it. So it doesn't really exist anymore, except as a memory, perhaps. So Rheostatics are kind of a quirky Canadian band. They're really kind of strange. And to be honest, if you looked at, I think, pretty much every Rheostatics record, you'll find that the writing duties were shared among the members of the band. Now, the membership has changed over the years. So, like Dave Clark, who's on here, has left the band, and there's a different drummer, that kind of thing. But the other interesting thing about many of their records, and I should have verified this, but on this particular record, all 4 members have a lead vocal. So the one from Dave Clark is called Guns, and it's spoken word, but it definitely is, I think, would count. And that sort of leads right into question number 2. So I could have used this for question number 2, and I could have used question number 2 for answer number 2 for question number 1. And they show a record with a lead vocal credit for every band member. And I'm going to show a band that I've mentioned before, sometimes called the Canadian Beatles, not Klaatu, it's Sloan. This is Navy Blues, a power pop band. This is their 4th record, I believe, from 98, I guess. They started in the late 80s. And one of the curious things about this band is that the 4 members have always been the same. They've never changed, unlike the Rheostatics. And all 4 members write songs for every record, and all 4 members sing lead vocals for every album. So on any record, you're going to find songs written by various members and sung by various members. So it's really interesting. It's kind of democratically divided, so you may not even notice it. Their voices do tend to sound very similar, but it's really interesting to think that they all get these, credit for songs, and they all write songs and sing songs. So I could have used this for number 1. Really great band. You know, I have to think they've been such a tight unit for so long that if for some reason they couldn't continue, I am sure that if one of the members became ill or something, I'm pretty sure that the band would not continue. Let me see, what's a song you might know in here? Well, the big song up here is Money City Maniacs. It gets played a lot on the radio, but there's some really, really great songs on here. And yeah, so that's number 2. Number 3, show a record with 2 lead vocalists. Now, I guess, I was thinking of Rob from Northern Revolutions when I was preparing this, because I was thinking about Chris, and I may have stole his thunder here, but I'm going to choose one of his favorite bands called Blue Rodeo, and this is Outskirts, their debut record from 1987. And I'll say right away, this is my favorite Blue Rodeo record. In fact, if you're only going to have one Blue Rodeo record, it should be this one. They're a country pop, folk country, rock pop, alt country kind of band. Really great. I'm not a fan of country music, but this really works for me because it has enough rock components to make it work. But I think this is a fabulous record. I liked it since the first day I heard it. I think it's really great. And I should say, I think I've seen every one of these bands that I'm talking about in concert at least once. And I saw Blue Rodeo several times. I've seen, yeah, I don't want to go into a long history, but Rheostatic many times. Great record. Two vocalists. The two vocalists are Jim Cuddy and Greg Keeler, and they both have really excellent voices. Last question. This is longer than it probably should be. Show a record written entirely by the sole lead vocalist. And as I said, these are all Canadian. I was looking around and I stumbled upon this one and I thought, oh, well, the others are Canadian. I'm going to choose this one too. And this is another power pop band called The Pursuit of Happiness. This is their second record called One Sided Story from 1990. I think it was recorded in 89 but released in 1990. Now, as I say, power pop band, maybe best known for a single on their first record called I'm an Adult Now. Which is a really funny song. There's two versions of that song. There's an earlier released on a 12-inch and then the re-recorded album version. But this is a pretty good record too. It's I'm not sure how many they did. I think they were done by 97. I don't think they've released anything since then. And I think the first track on side one called Food, it's only 2.5 minutes. It's hilarious. Pretty funny. I think it was a single up here. I heard it a lot on the radio. But Mo Berg, this guy, is the lead singer, and he wrote all the music, I think, for all the records. I hadn't checked that, but certainly on this record. And produced by Todd Rundgren, if you care. But a really cool, fun Canadian band. So I'll just repeat it. Go check out Chris's channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.